Hey everyone, Ben from Living Survival, and today I have another awesome headlamp to show you. It's another viewer request, the UCO A-120 Comfort Fit Headlamp. So stick with me. So today I have another viewer request to show you. This is the UCO Comfort Fit Headlamp. Now I wasn't aware that UCO even made headlamps. They're the ones that make the storm-proof matches and the waterproof match cases, which I really like. So I checked it out after a subscriber of mine mentioned that he'd like to see a review on this headlamp, and I'm really glad that I did, which is generally the case when you guys suggest that I review something. So UCO makes two different headlamps. This is the brighter of the two. This is the A120, 120 lumen headlamp. They also make one that's not quite as bright and doesn't have the battery pack on the back. So if battery packs aren't your thing, you might want to check out the smaller one that's less bright. But honestly, this is one of the most comfortable headlamps. Not only comfortable headlamps that have a battery pack in the back, which generally I don't really like, but one of the most comfortable headlamps that I've ever put on my head. So it's 120 lumens with the Cree XP LED that you can see in there, and then it also has a red light, which is something that I really like headlights to have. It takes 3 AAAs, which are in the battery pack in the back, which we'll look at in a moment, and it has a runtime of approximately 200 hours. Now it is a variable light, so as with some of the other lights we've looked at, instead of constant on where basically you click it through the different stages of brightness, this one has a dial which will basically brighten or dim the light. Now the great thing about this dial here is that it's super simple to operate. This is one of the most simple headlamps that I've ever tested out, which is definitely a major pro or a major plus for this headlamp. You simply just twist the dial and that's how you operate it, and you go the other way to get into the red light. So no matter if you have large clunky gloves on, you're still going to be able to operate this. You're still going to be able to operate it when your hands are cold. You're going to operate it when your hands are wet. You know, no matter where you are, you can operate this headlamp, which is awesome, and something that gets a little tricky with headlamps with the harder to press buttons on them, or some of the ones that have the touch sensor. So I think as far as ease of use goes, this one definitely earns the top spot. You can see that it has some very nice notches in the dial here, making it very easy and textured to grip. You simply just twist the light to operate it, so you can twist it to the one side, and then like I said, it has the variable operation from dim to bright. Go back to the off mode, and then you can click it the other way to get into your red light mode. Up front here, it has a little bit of a rubber coating, which I think is nice as well. Now it does angle down, and another great feature of this headlight is that it's not a clicky. Some headlights go click, 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 and this one's just a very, very smooth operation, but it's stiff enough so that it's not just gonna flop down or, you know, just move all the time on you. Let's say if you're running, for example, it's not going to move on you. It's stiff enough to hold it in place, but again, it's very comfortable. You can see here that it has this leather backing, and it's a neoprene band, one of the nicest bands that I've ever seen in a headlamp. On this side here, you have the cord that goes around to the battery pack, and the battery pack is located right on the back. Nice thing is you can move all this stuff around. You can move the clip around for the strap, and you can move the battery pack around so that you can make sure that you always have it centered on your head. And again, it's super comfortable and super balanced. Absolutely no headache wearing this headlamp for extended periods of time. It's very easy to adjust. It just has a Velcro adjustment here, so you can just snug it up to your head, or maybe if you had a hat on or a helmet or something, you could just snug it up and quickly adjust it. I like that a lot better than some of the other ones where you have to just play with it and play with it to get it to adjust. So very easy to use, and again, very comfortable on my head. I really like that it doesn't have that third strap, which some of the ones do that have the battery pack in the back. You can see it has a nice plastic housing here. I think it is rugged enough to survive a drop or two. I don't think that's going to be a problem. It does have, it seems to be a plastic lens on here. It'd be nice if that was glass, but again, it would add to the weight. On the reverse here, you can see that it's sort of this velvety neoprene here, which is very comfortable to wear on the head. like I said, one of the most comfortable headbands that I have put on. Looking around the side here, you have this really cool looking cable, which is scrunched up. You can scrunch it up a little bit more just to keep it from flopping around, which is very cool. And then you have the battery pack in the back. Again, just a very nice and quality design here. You just open these two Velcro straps here, and then the battery pack will pop out, and you can quickly and easily change the AAA batteries. Now, it doesn't have the IPX8 waterproof rating to it like some of the other more expensive headlamps have. However, it is IPX4, which is pretty typical for headlamps of this size and quality, and it will withstand some splashing and, of course, rain. Overall, with batteries, it only weighs 104 grams or 3.7 ounces, which is very light, and which makes it very nice to wear without giving yourself a headache. It's got a very smooth up and down action, which is nice. It's not clicky. I like that a lot. You can see it's got a nice amount of spot to it. I think it's got a perfect mix of spot and flood. It's definitely a lot more spot than my Petzl, which is 160 lumens, but has more flood. And I like that. And then again, it's variable, so you can just dial it up and down. And then you just turn it all the way off and turn it another click, and that will give you the red light. It's got a nice red light, just as bright as my Petzl. And I just love how easy it is to control, even with gloves on. It's just so simple. You can see it's got some pretty good throw to it. For a headlamp, it's got a really nice spot. So what do I think about the A120? Well, I'm really happy that a subscriber mentioned that I should check it out. I'm very happy with the quality, the overall build of it. It's very nice. It's got a unique design to it with that leather and the neoprene strap there. It's very comfortable, one of the most comfortable headlamps that I've ever put on. And it's bright enough to do your general camp tasks or for running or hiking or something like that. As you can see, it has more of a spot light to it than a flood, which is nice. Again, in a headlamp of that brightness, you know, it's nice to have that spot. Sometimes you just get a flood and they call it 100 lumens-ish, and it tends to not be bright enough to see further into the woods, for example, if you heard a noise or wanted to check something out, or just walking around at night. Sometimes you want to see further ahead, and that spotlight, that more spot reflected beam is going to help you do that. I love the dial on it, making it one of the easiest to use headlamps, especially with gloves or in cold weather. Sometimes the buttons are really hard to press, and that's just not the case with this headlamp. It's very easy to use with that dial, and I'd like to see more headlamp makers incorporate a dial like that. I like the fact that it has the red light. I do use that a lot when hunting, for example. The tilt to it is very nice too. Sometimes you get very rigid clicks, sometimes you get too soft of clicks, and the headlamp can kind of bounce around on your head when running, for example. This one doesn't have the clicks, but it's very, very smooth in operation, and it's stiff enough that it's not going to move on you once you get it set to the position that you like. The headband is very easy to tighten once you have it on your head. You don't have to mess around with stretching out straps or anything like that, especially if you switch from helmets or hats to just wearing it right on your forehead. So the final plus for this headlamp is the price. It's only gonna run you 39 bucks, which was amazing to me. I would think that a light of this quality and the features that it offers would be more expensive. I'm gonna put some links below to their website where you can check out this model as well as their other model. And of course, I'm gonna put some links below to Amazon to where you can purchase this headlamp. Anything that you purchase through my Amazon links does help support my channel. Again, I want to thank you guys, the subscribers, for mentioning products like this to me. I wouldn't have known that UCO even made headlamps had it not be for the fan that reached out and wanted me to review it. So I think that's super awesome. Make sure you guys leave some comments below for me. I do try to answer each and every comment that comes through on my channel. Please share this video to your friends and family who might be interested. This would make a great gift for the holiday season coming up. Please use that share button below to do so. I'd appreciate if you guys would take a moment to follow me on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. My links are below in the description. And as always, guys, if you haven't already done so, please click that red subscribe button for more videos.